Hey everyone, if you've ever found yourself staring at a huge SQL string, trying to find a missing comma, or worrying about security holes, then you're in the right place. We're going to dive into PHPWeave's built-in query builder. It's a tool designed to make all your database work way cleaner, much safer, and honestly, a whole lot less of a headache.
Okay, so look at this. This one slide tells you pretty much everything you need to know. On the left, well, that's the old way, that tangled mess of raw SQL. It's confusing, it's super easy to mess up, and it's a security nightmare waiting to happen. But then, look at the right. That's the new way. That's the query builder. It's clean, it's readable, and it just makes sense. We're trading all that pain for pure clarity.
All right, so here's our plan for this explainer. We'll start by talking about the frustrations of raw SQL. Then I'll introduce you to the query builder. We'll get you up and running, it's super fast, build a couple of queries together, and then really dig into why this is such a big deal for your workflow. And of course, we'll wrap up with what to do next.
So let's kick things off with the big question. Why does a query builder even exist in the first place? Well, the answer really boils down to the problems that come with writing raw SQL by hand. It's not just that it's complicated, it's that it is way too easy to make mistakes and open up some really serious security holes.
This quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Building those query strings yourself really is like walking a tightrope. Every single time you mix a variable into that string, you're creating a potential risk for SQL injection. It's tedious, it's hard to read, and the query builder is here to basically give you a nice, safe bridge to get to the other side.
Which of course brings us to the solution. So let's properly meet PHPWeave's query builder. Think of it as your new best friend for anything database related. It's fluent, it's secure, and it doesn't care what database you're using.
So what is it really? Well, at its heart, it's what's called a fluent interface. Now that's just a fancy term that means you can chain methods together, one after another, to build up a query that reads almost like a real sentence. It automatically keeps you safe from SQL injection, which is huge. And maybe the coolest part, the code you write works everywhere. You can switch from MySQL to PostgreSQL, and you don't have to change a single line of your query code. It just works.
And you know, the best part about all this? Getting started is ridiculously easy. There's no complicated setup process, nothing to install. It's just instant power right out of the box.
Yep, you're reading that right. A big fat 0. That's how many installations you need. If you're using PHPWeave version 2.4.0 or anything newer, the query builder is already baked right into the framework. No downloads, no config files. It's just there, ready and waiting for you.
I mean, check out how simple this is. It's literally just 2 steps. First, you pop Use Query Builder at the top of whatever model you want to use it in. And second, you just start building queries. That's it. You're done. You can now use the whole API.
Okay, enough talk. Let's get our hands dirty and see how this thing actually works. We're going to build some of the most common queries you'll find yourself writing every single day.
So every query is going to start the exact same way. You just have to tell it which table you're working with. Right here, we're using our user model, and we're pointing it to the users table. This is the very first link in our chain.
Next up, we just chain on our conditions. We use the where method, and it takes 3 really simple arguments: the column name, the operator, and the value you're looking for. I mean, look how readable that is, right? We're finding users where the status is equal to active. Simple.
And finally, when you're all done building your query, you need to actually get the data. You do that by adding a terminator method, like get. This is like the period at the end of the sentence. It tells the builder, okay, I'm done, go fetch the results. It's this simple, chainable flow that makes it so powerful. And by the way, that where method is super flexible. As you can see here, it supports all the usual suspects: equals, not equals, greater than, less than, even like for when you need to do some pattern matching. So you have a ton of control over how you filter your data.
But wait, it's not just for getting data. Inserting new records is just as clean. You just call the insert method, and you pass it an array with your new data. No more writing out those long, ugly insert into statements. The builder just takes care of it for you.
Okay, so we've seen the how, but now let's talk about the why. Like, why is this a genuine game changer for your day-to-day coding? How does this actually make your life better?
Right, here are the big wins. Number 1, your code is just cleaner and way easier for you and your team to read. Number 2, your app is instantly more secure thanks to that automatic protection against SQL injection. 3, your code is now portable across different databases. And 4, and this is a killer feature, there's a toSQL method that lets you see the exact SQL query that gets generated. Oh man, it is a lifesaver for debugging.
So you might be thinking, okay, this is great, but what's the catch? Is it slow? And that's a fair question.
The answer is, yes, there's a tiny bit of overhead, but as you can see, it is incredibly small. We're talking about a fraction of a millisecond. It's so fast you will literally never notice it. And when you weigh that against the massive wins in security and how much time you'll save, it's an absolute no-brainer.
Now, if you want to use this like a pro, here are a few best practices straight from the documentation. First, try to keep your query logic inside your models to keep your controllers clean. Second, only select the columns you actually need to use. Third, if you just need to check if something exists, use the super efficient exists method. And finally, for a series of actions that all have to succeed or fail together, make sure you wrap them in a transaction.
We've covered a ton, but really, this is just the beginning. So let's talk about how you can take what you've learned today and really become a master of the query builder.
Here are 3 really simple things you can do right now. First, go find the official documentation and bookmark it. It's your new best friend. Second, check out the complete examples in the docs. They're awesome for seeing how this stuff works in the real world. And third, and this is the most important one, find just one raw SQL query in a project you're working on and try to convert it. Seriously, there is no better way to learn than by just doing it.
So, at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. The PHPWeave Query Builder makes your code cleaner, safer, and so much easier to work with. It gives you more power and a lot more peace of mind. So, the only real question left is, what awesome things are you going to go build with it? Thanks so much for joining me.